what to bring to the hospital. This can be a huge question mark for a lot of women and their birth companions. It's like you want to have all of the essential items, but you don't want to be overloaded. So where's that happy middle ground? So I'm going to go over the packing list that I give to my doula clients, that I give to the men and the women in my childbirth prep classes. This list, you might have other items that you think are essential, which is great, add those on. There might be items on here that you don't feel like you need, great, leave it off. But this should give you a good starting point. And there is a link in the description below to a downloadable, printable list, the same list that I'm going to go over, so you don't have to take notes. All right, first thing, have a folder with all of your important documents. So have your picture ID, your insurance card, at least 2 copies of your birthing preferences, a cheat sheet for pain relieving techniques you want your partner to use, so bullet points that they can have and utilize during birth to make sure that they're helping you as much as possible. A call list for post-birth. I highly recommend that you don't tell anybody, unless they're an essential person, that you're in labor, because then you're going to get tons of calls and texts when you're trying to focus on birthing. But have a list of all the people you want to contact and send that adorable first photo of baby after they're born, and any other needed paperwork that you think you'll need. Okay, you also want to have a credit card and some money for vending machines, your phones and your chargers, of course. I would definitely put your phone on airplane mode when you're in labor to, again, just minimize distractions. A camera, if you have a nice camera, it can be really neat to bring that and, ask a doula, or probably not your birth companion, because hopefully they're just going to be super involved in making sure you're comfortable. So ask somebody else to take photos, maybe even a video if you're comfortable with that. I would definitely bring a portable speaker and headphones, in addition to having a birthing playlist and guided meditations, on your phone, in a place that's easy to access. And I recommend bringing both a portable speaker and headphones, because you might vacillate with how you want to be hearing those songs or those meditations during labor. You might want it so everybody in the room can hear it. It can be really amazing, if you have this super soothing music and a nurse or a doctor comes into the room who might have been like totally stressed out a second ago, and they come into the room and you can just see them like melt, and their voice softens and they become more relaxed because you're filling the space with this really soothing music. Or maybe you want it to be a super personal experience. Maybe you want to really go within and you just want to pop in those headphones and block out the world around you. So I would bring both options. Okay, a birth ball. So a lot of hospitals, because of hygiene concerns, do not offer birthing balls to birthing mothers. So go ahead and bring your own. A birthing ball can be amazing to take off pressure from your lower back, from your hips during labor. You can sit on it and kind of lean against the hospital bed, and you can do hip swirls. You can bounce on it. There's so many ways that it can support you during labor. Okay, an essential oil diffuser. So hospitals typically smell pretty sterile. It's not the most soothing smell, right? So having a plug-in essential oil diffuser, one that does not use an open flame, and then also your favorite essential oils. Sorry, it's really hot in this room. So your favorite essential oils, put a few drops in, every hour or so whenever you notice the smell shifting. If you start to become so used to the smell that you don't feel like it's really impacting you anymore, go ahead and rinse out the diffuser and put in a new aroma. Battery-powered candles. Lighting in hospitals is somewhat yucky. Sometimes they have lamps, which puts off a really nice soft glow, but sometimes they only have the overhead fluorescent lighting, which is not conducive to a peaceful birth. So having those battery-powered candles can create this really lovely ambiance in the space. A nightgown or bathrobe specifically for birthing. You might be surprised to find out that all sorts of fluids come out of you when you're birthing. And so you want to make sure that that bathrobe, those pajamas, whatever you want to wear, that you're not going to be upset if they get fluids on them. But you also want to make sure they're really soft and comfortable. You also want to have a post-birth bathrobe or pajamas that you can put on that don't have as much risk of getting fluids on them, and also clothing for each day of your estimated stay. If you're going to have a cesarean birth, you probably want to have about 5 to 7 changes of clothing. For a vaginal birth, at least 2 to 3 days. You might go home sooner, but it doesn't hurt to be prepared. Know that your stomach is still going to look like it's about 4 to 5 months pregnant after you have the baby. So bring your maternity clothes, really loose, flowy, comfortable clothing. If you're choosing to breastfeed, tops that will be easy to breastfeed in. Because hospital floors can be yucky, I'm using that word a lot, bring slippers or flip-flops so you can go to and from the bathroom, walk around the room without worrying about what's getting on your feet. Hospitals can also be really cold, so bring nice fuzzy socks to put on. Going back to the nursing thing, bring nursing bras and pads because especially right when your milk comes in, you are going to leak a lot. So having those pads can really help. Bring all your toiletries, for your eyes, your mouth, your body, your hair, everything at all. Don't forget hair ties. Hair ties are a godsend when you're hot and sweaty during labor. One thing that you can probably leave at home is your makeup. You're probably not going to care much about putting on your makeup during childbirth, definitely not. And then even after, you're just gonna wanna be comfortable and chill. Light snacks. So new research has shown that it's actually good for moms to drink liquids and to have light protein-rich snacks if they feel like it during birth. And of course afterwards, you're gonna be ravenous after you have a baby. So again, light, healthy snacks that are rich in protein so they can provide sustained energy. Coconut water is also really great to have because it can help to replace any electrolytes that you lose through the sweating that you'll probably do during childbirth. Childbirth often creates fluctuations in temperature. You might get really cold, you might get really hot, you might go back and forth. A water bottle. With the water bottle, I would bring a reusable metal straw because as strange as it sounds, it can just feel like too much when you're in labor to tilt your head back and drink out of a water bottle that way. So you want to have a straw that you can put into it so your birth supporters can just hold it up to you. You can take a sip, they can take it away. Honey sticks. So honey sticks can help to give you a little boost in energy. They taste good and they're easy. You don't necessarily want like a big spoonful of honey. You can just get little tiny tastes of it with a honey stick. And they also have flavored honey sticks like orange flavor, lavender flavored, which is really great for relaxing. Breath mints, during labor, especially if you're really in it, you might not feel like going to the bathroom and brushing your teeth. So having some breath mints that you can easily pop in can be really nice. Having a soft pillow and blanket. You might want to use this during labor, but if you don't want to get any fluids on the pillow or the blanket, I would hold off on using it until after you have baby. Hospital pillows aren't the most comfortable, so it can be really nice to have your own from home after baby's born. Bring in a focal point, like a photo of your child if you already have one, of a pet, or of like a really beautiful place that you love and you associate with being calm. And if there is a clock on the wall, I recommend bringing in something to cover that clock. Maybe it's that focal point image we just talked about. It could be anything, but it's really nice to not be able to see the passage of time during labor, because it can be really discouraging, especially if you feel like, oh my God, I've been laboring for like 30 minutes and it's only been like 5 minutes. That can be a super bummer. So just cover up that clock. You don't need to worry about it. Your baby will be born exactly when they're meant to be born. Just have the faith that that'll happen. Okay, a special treat for after labor. Some women bring in a Guinness or something like that because it's said that that can help bring in your milk. Maybe you want like a piece of cheesecake. Maybe you tell your partner to go get you a nice piece of jewelry, call it the like push present. Bring in something to give yourself kudos for all of the amazing hard work you're about to do. Of course, the baby is the greatest gift, but it can be nice to have another little treat. Okay, so for baby, make sure that you have comfortable clothing for them. You don't need to bring in the cutesy shoes or anything like that for your time in the hospital. And make sure you pack layers for them because again, it can get pretty cold in the hospital. Bring your preferred diapers. A lot of times the hospital just has the super basic, really popular brands of diapers, but if you want cloth diapers or you want something that doesn't have, any chemicals in it, go ahead and bring those in. One blanket for the car ride home. So I really recommend that you do not use any cherished blankets that were like knit by your grandmother while you're in the hospital, because something that happened to us and has happened to a lot of my clients is they wrap baby in that special blanket and then a nurse takes the baby to the nursery to be weighed or something like that. Baby pees on the blanket and without thinking, they just stick it in the laundry chute, and for the most part, you can wave goodbye to that blanket. The hospital will provide you with tons of blankets, so again, just save that special one for the car ride home. If you won't be breastfeeding, go ahead and bring your formula of choice and whatever bottles you want to use. While the hospital will absolutely provide this, if you want to have, organic formula or whatever, make sure you bring that. Car seat. Okay, so you want to make sure you install the car seat at least about 2 weeks before your due date to make sure it's good to go. Go ahead and practice, tightening it, loosening it, buckling it, unbuckling it so you feel fully prepared before baby is born. And the last thing, go ahead and leave your valuables at home. You don't need your jewelry. If you think there's a few work obligations that you absolutely have to take care of, bring your computer if you want, but make sure you keep it in one set location so you don't leave it behind somewhere in case you have to be shuffled around a lot. Don't need your valuables. I think that's about it. If you can think of an item that really helped you during labor that I didn't include in this video, go ahead and add it in the comments below.